Really don't know how long this video is going to last for because it's an Android. So we're just going to get right to the punch. I want to just say something. I think that the current apartment that I'm in right now is undergoing some kind of form of gentrification. And I'm not really sure if that's what it is, but when you start to notice a lot of people getting kicked out of their house around the same time that this new management took over, and that reports, even with them saying that the lease is going to change. We used to have at least 2 weeks before we had any type of notice that if you didn't pay your rent on time, there was a while before they caught on and gave you a letter. This is like 2 days. Like if you don't have your rent after the second or the third day of the first, then we're going to send you a letter. You got to get the hell out. And I don't think a lot of people in this neighborhood understand that there's there's a process before you can get evicted, and they're just worried about all their stuff being laid out on the street. But I'm looking around and there's people stuff still out on the street, like they real life just kicking motherfuckers out. And it's not funny because it's like, damn, you seeing it happen. You know that the rent's gonna go up the next time that you have to renew your lease, and it's a big jump. It's over like $300 more than what the usual rent is. And I just thought that was crazy. It's like you see something, I guess you gotta say something, right? But it's it's amazing to see it. That's just something else that's in my life right now telling me you said you wasn't gonna stay there long. It hasn't even been a year yet for me living in the apartments. So for this to happen and the year to be up for me, this the end of this summer coming up, it's it's a eye opening thing. Like you have to get the fuck out of here and find somewhere where you're going to be comfortable and don't have to worry about the hike and how it's going to affect my income and everything else. I need to find something right now that's or make a change in my life right now that's gonna this neighborhood isn't worth that much. It's not worth as much as they're charging to live here. And I need to find a way to make it so I'm comfortable. I have my shit together, just like I was planning when I moved in these motherfuckers. It was like, it's just giving me something to be like, look, that's it. That's it. That's what, get the fuck out. Had a shootout the first 2, 3 weeks I was living here. Another one, 2 weeks ago, and it's just not the right neighborhood that I want my kids to grow up in, basically. I've been saying that I wanted to move out of this city for a very, very long time. And I've done it, but circumstances happen and you got to come back. It's time for me to get out again. But I just thought that was crazy that, I don't know even if the news, like, do people pick up on shit like that? Are people talking about it like that where I am? I'm just trying to figure that shit out. If people are actually like seeing, and this is a large apartment complex. You say you stay out here, people automatically know, you know, where it is. So, and there's low income, there's disabled, there's elderly, there's college students, there's people like myself, mothers, families. I see 3 generations of families that live downstairs, and it's like, it's a trip that when this new management come in, they brought out this is crazy. They brought dumpsters, like extra dumpsters, and placed extra dumpsters where the ones usually are. Like they doubled them up. So I'm guessing like that's just for y'all to get y'all shit so it ain't all over. They kicking motherfuckers out. So I think that's like a form of gentrification. I just didn't know if I was on the right track of that's what that is. Or do we just call that new management? Is that what they call it? They just call it new management. Raise the rent. And nowadays, minimum wage isn't covering the high cost of rent. And the lady told me, she said, the manager, she told me, she said, Ohio guidelines are for a 2-bedroom apartment. It has to be this amount. And I'm thinking that's crazy that the state regulates rent prices. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody can own their own business and set their own prices, but the state regulates your rent. So if they know that that's happening, that sounds illegal. Does it sound illegal? It sounds illegal to me that, there's not a lot of place for low income housing. It's like, they're trying to get rid of low income housing and they're trying to get rid of Section 8 and all that other stuff. But Ohio's regulation is for, in order for you to have a 2-bedroom, it has to be more than $700. With the last couple jobs, I said it, that I had, I wasn't making $700 in a month. It'll be like $200, $300 every 2 weeks. And you could say, oh, you got the wrong job, but when you're hungry and when things come up and you have to go to work and you have kids and you're doing it, everybody's situation is different. It all factors in to not everybody make that much money in a month. You have to hustle. And that's just this apartment and this time in my life is telling me, like, you gotta hustle, girl. You can't be out here playing because shit's about to get real. Okay? They not just everybody's heard about these prices in the real estate, how people can't pay their rent. It's crazy. And then politicians get mad when you ask for an increase in minimum wage. An increase in minimum wage. The least amount you can get. The least amount we can get is $15. And in some states, you need to be making at least $20-something an hour just to pay 30% of your income towards rent, utilities, and that doesn't factor in like groceries, clothing your children, getting things that you need as a woman, getting things that you need as a man. It doesn't factor that in, and I think that's just crazy.